Okay, Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Barakah Kodash, double honors unto the apostles, the GMS, who I learned the truth from, and salutations unto you brothers and a few sisters that take heed. Okay, the title of this lesson is I Wasted My Whole Life in This Truth. Alright, it was something that just hit me. I'm on my walk, and a brother in the camp, he told me he was watching an old school video of Apostle Tahar from I believe the 80s or 90s, and someone commented, he seen a comment someone put up. They said, this man is out here still. He said this guy wasted his whole life. You know, he was in his, Apostle Tahar was in his late 20s, early 30s, you know, and present day 2018, you know, so you do the math. But yeah, it was a thing. You know, the brother said it, and we both, you know, humorously laughed, because we knew the thing, we knew the joke. You know, the joke is on him, but at the end of the day, we're just made up to be fools, man. This is what the end of the stick looks like in this truth, so to speak. The when it boils down to it, is you being mocked and humiliated, man. You know, and people looking at you like, what are you doing with your life? And I've been giving it more thought and more meditation on it, and or I should say, from a carnal, rational point of view, you know, from a logical, so-called, I say that hyphenated, logical point of view, we are wasting our lives. But in truth sense, all right, when we take off the blinders, okay, this whole world is waste, man. Okay, this whole way of life is a wasting. You people are actually wasting away. You're wasting inside your homes now, thanks to Wi-Fi and magnetic frequencies and radiation. Okay, and you're watching your programming, okay, on television. All right, television. But then you're wasted when you go outside. You know, it's forecast is nice and sunny. You go outside, there's a nice silk cloak, a hazy cloak that you think is a cloud, and that's nothing but barium oxide being sprayed on you. All right, you're wasted at your job, man. You're doing a job that you're doing a job for 30, 40 years that you hate waking up for every day. Okay, so this whole society is waste, man. And this is, personally, I can say that this is the greatest work you can undertake. You know, this is the greatest thing you can do. All right, whatever it is in this world that you're doing, when you're a youth in this society, you're one of the most vainest creatures upon earth. Because you're giving up to vanity, you're giving up to vain glory and foolishness. All right, and I'm going to read a scripture that shows even Solomon, he called the age, or the so-called adolescent years, the youth years, as vanity. This is Ecclesiastes 11 and 8, right? And it says, but if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. All that cometh is vanity. Verse 9, rejoice, O young man, in thy youth. Right. So you're young, you know, you're 15, 16, early 20s. You got them hormones fucking raging through you, man. You know, your testosterone is about as high as a racehorse, so to speak. You know, not really, but you know what I mean. You know, you're full of energy. But again, even then, in this society, is that the majority of kids? No, because I'm a man in the society now, and I see these younger children, 8, 9, 10, 11, going up into teenage years. They're rarely even outside doing shit that I used to do. Riding bikes, playing basketball, all kinds of things, man. Just running up and down. When you had no bike, you just run up and down. No one is doing that really. So even in that aspect, the society this whole fucking world is waste. It's foolish, man. When you start to understand these things, you start to understand why the Lord really told you to hate this world, man. Have nothing to do with this world, because it'll be easier ride for you. Because you won't have these thoughts. Oh man, am I wasting my life? Look at me. I'm a late 20s, early 30s bum. I'm not doing anything with my life. Right? Look at my peers. Look at the people that I grew up with. Man, this guy got a house. He has a mortgage. He has a wife and 2 kids. He owns a car, a nice car. He has a stable career. You know, and the demons start to make their presence and start attacking you. And you got to defend yourself with this word, right? And let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart. Meaning, you see what these kids do, man. You brothers know when you're in high school from grade 9. You know, you do your party shit and do whatever the fuck you want. In this society I'm talking about, in this world, if you were not brought up as an Israelite, as a child, you listen, man. This society has a lot to offer you in terms of wickedness. Especially when you're young, that's what they get you for the rest of your life. It says, "And walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou," right, "that for all these things the Most High will bring thee into judgment." See? So all this fun and, oh, I forgot what happened. I blacked out almost every weekend. And now you're wondering, what the fuck is going on? My liver's failing, my kidneys, I'm developing gout, fucking high uric acid, diabetes. You know, my friend was killed by a drunk driver. You know, all this calamity starts happening because the Most High is judging you. You know. It says, verse 10, "Therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity." And again, if you can't fathom that Solomon said that. Solomon, listen, man, I don't care what the hell anyone tells you. He that hath ears, let him hear, man. Right? Solomon came back as Yahushua. Solomon was the wisest king upon earth. So what did he tell you? He said, childhood and youth are vanity. And it's funny, man, in this society, this is what they push. Man, I wish I was a kid forever. Forever 21. You know, I want to be a kid forever. Oh, I miss my childhood. And yeah, if you had a decent, relatively good childhood, so good, what is good? Again, that's another lie and deceit. In this society, if you were pampered and had a well-secured childhood and had Yu-Gi-Oh cards or whatever the fuck you played with, oh, that's good. Well, really, it's spoiling, man. It's rotting. Spoil. Another word for spoilage is rot. Does that sound good? A rotting childhood? You know, a good childhood, really, go back to the scriptures, man. You were tutored. Maybe you were taught to be a brick mason, along with you were taught to read the scriptures. You know, because in the ancient world, like you had the disciples, you had different classes of Israelites. You had the priests or the Levites. They lived in the suburbs, man. In every city of all the tribes, because they were the priests. They had to attend the priesthood, right? But then again, you had slack. You just lost my train of thought. But you had the different classes, and like the disciples, some of them were fishermen. Matthew was a publican, which is like a tax collector, you know, and so on and so forth. And basically, a lot of the disciples, they were unlearned men, meaning they didn't go to the official school where the Pharisees and Sadducees went. That's why sometimes it's referenced in the scriptures in the book of John. You know, the Pharisees and Sadducees, it says they marveled. It says, how do these men read, being unlearned? And when you look up the word read, it just means basically the Pharisees and Sadducees, they had a full, deep understanding of the Torah. they read proper Hebrew, because again, you had different dialects of Hebrew. So they looked at Yahushua. He was an unlearned man, because he wasn't in their colleges, you know. Because in the ancient world, you had colleges and institutions of learning, you know. But Yahushua was one of those men. But look what happened. It was a spirit that strengthened him, of course, right? It was a spirit that strengthened him, and it's a spirit that strengthens us. Because a lot of us, we didn't go to school, we didn't go to university, we don't have bachelors or PhDs or masters or anything like that. Some of us don't even have high school diplomas, right? That's what makes these guys even more pissed off. I'm talking about the elites, because they're scratching their head, they're plucking out the hairs on their heads, thinking, how is this possible, you know? But getting back to it, see, Solomon told you, man, youth is vanity. So in this world, everything is about childhood and fun and all this shit. Really, what you're doing is spoiling the child. So in the ancient world, you were taught that. You might have been taught a physical trade, how to read and write. That's a good childhood, man. Maybe you were taught an art. Whatever means of resources your family had, they would instill that upon you. They would use it. Right? Something you can use in your later life. What the hell are you going to use collecting Pokemon cards and playing Nintendo? Right? Now let's go to chapter 12 and 1. Salaki, there's some noise up. But it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth. See? So from when you're a young man, you're supposed to remember Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You're supposed to know him. While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And what does that sound like? That kind of sounds like we call it the Catholic the church we call it system. You know, it sounds like we call it the church system. These people in their fucking senior age, in their 60s, 70s, 50s, you know, and by that time, man, they're only going there to be a part of something in that age, because nothing's popping anymore. You know, your drug dealers are dead. Your friends that you knew are in jail or dead. So you're just gonna join the church, man. You're trying to seek the Lord when it's too damn late, man. You did all this wickedness, and knowing you did wickedness. Because Jake has a conscience, man. Even in the world, Jake that does wickedness, right? Don't these rappers, man, a lot of things when they rap about, before I do this, you know, I pray to the Lord for mercy, or, you know, I pray to the Lord that I don't die tonight, or whatever, man. The Most High is in their minds, man. It's not like Esau. But again, these things are not to be taken lightly, man. But in this society, that's what this wasting is all about. Just complete waste, man. Right? While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, which is talking about this knowledge. This knowledge is about to withdraw itself, man. Literally about to withdraw itself into secret chambers, as the scripture says. Basically, the Most High is going to take away this light. And only the men with whom, you know, you have grinded and loved this word, and it has loved you back, you know, you're going to keep it. You're going to have that little bit of lead in your pocket, so to speak. You know, as a metaphor, I'll say. You know, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. So again, this is going into prophecy. You know, this scripture was used as a prophetic scripture, because this is what's happening now. You know, this bitch America that you know as is about to be on its way out, man. All right, as you see what happened with Detroit, General Motors, right? You're gonna see that nationwide. Okay, the jobs, the grinding represents these jobs, man. You people, you're just trying to grind, man. You're trying to go on Uber Eats and do all these other jobs, and those outlets are gonna be closed soon. You know, those fucking outlets are gonna be closed real soon, right? When the Slakia and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And that's self-explanatory. That's in this society. And music, man, music in the streets. There is no music industry. You know, there is no fucking music industry. All the noise in this society is just foolishness, man. It's literally to your detriment. Okay. I wanted to get that, and again, man, brothers that think that get that way, those are just demons attacking you. You know, because I can kind of see it now. You know, it takes great faith, man, for the apostles, Apostle Tahar, starting with Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramlab, Apostle Rakah, and the great men on down. Those brothers have been laboring for decades, man. You know, I could see us through a tiny peep, man. You know, like when I was shown the elders, I just you know, the Spirit showed me the elders. I was 16. I'm 26 right now. And the people that I grew up with, you know, sometimes you run across them or you see them or whatever, social media, you know, and of course you see them. You see the lavishness, you know. In high school, like I would tell certain people about, you know, certain stuff, not too deep, but you know, like the general conspiracies and things like that, you know. And it's funny now that even these people in this world that are brought up and they're proper, they're functioning properly, and you know, their mannerisms are, you know, you know, they're whatever, so to speak, that even with all that, you know, you still have these conspiracies being what do you call it, brought out. God, Salakia. So so yeah, man, basically, you know, that's the deal. You know, you see these people in the world and them what do you call it, tendencies start to come up. You know, them demons start to get into your mind. Oh yeah, you could have been this, you could have done that. So don't worry about it, brothers, man. You know, we're set up in this world to the Lord likes that fight. You know, the weak overpowering the strong. You know, and that's another thing. Again, this is a lot of you younger brothers. You have to get in your head, man. This is not really, man. This is not the cool thing to be doing in this society. So just know that if you're trying to bring that cool image of Israelite, like a lot of these guys are, they have no idea what the hell this thing is about. You know, they're trying to get the nice fancy garments and the headbands and the wristbands and all that with the staff. This thing is not about aesthetics. Okay, this is the farthest thing from outward appearance, man. Yeah, read the Gospels, man. You guys didn't read the Gospels. Yahushua always told you that, man. The Pharisees. I'm going to finish on that, actually. This is Matthew 23 and 27. Actually, I'll start. You know what? I'll start at 25. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Again, that's esoteric and exoteric. Esoteric meaning inside, exoteric meaning outside, or the outward appearance. And all throughout the scriptures always tell you about outward appearance, how you're not supposed to judge upon the outward appearance of a man. Because that's one of the most foolish, that's in this society, you know? In this faggot ass queen society, queendom society, you judge upon the outward appearance, you know? So I feel, yeah, man, this faggot ass society, that's what they make you do, you know? Try to, you know, wear the suit and tie and all that shit. Meanwhile, you're a fucking goddamn pedophile, man, in a briefcase, with a briefcase, you know? Verse 26. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Right? Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which is like today you call it a coffin, but that's like a tomb where our forefathers were buried. You know, because in the ancient world, you didn't bury in the ground, man. You didn't have graveyards and coffins. You buried in tombs, in caves and rocks. Because when you bury bodies in the ground, man, you're causing disease. You know, you're causing that soul to be contaminated, man. You know. For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward. Right, that sepulcher looks beautiful outside, right? With all the white ceramic or whatever material it is, right? But are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. See, see, that's these guys, man. All these other groups. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Okay? So that was really it. I wanted to get on that. You know, I kind of ramble a little bit, but you know, the spirit just is something that I can a little bit relate to because I see it. You know, and brothers that are older than me, you know, I can't imagine how they see it, but we just got to go through it, man. This is, yeah, this is our life, and brothers have talents in this truth, like real fucking talents. You know, the point of this whole thing is to forsake all those things, man, because then the Lord say it shall be added unto you in the kingdom, right? Then the Lord say, seek ye the kingdom first, and all these things shall be added unto you. You know, in the kingdom, man, I remember something that the elder Yeshua said in the Dallas camp. He said, listen, man, the kingdom, you're gonna be whatever it is that you want, you know, in righteousness, whatever your idea of just a badass Israelite, you know, is on the right hand side. That's what you're gonna be, man. You know, because leave it up in this society for you to be who you want to be. You're gonna be given up to madness and folliness. Because guess what? We're not in our full 100% right mind. Our mentos is not 100% right in this kingdom. It can never be because we're in the flesh. So we got to get the fuck out of here anyway. Alright, so with that, I want to say Kahalal, La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakak Kodash, the blinders unto the apostles of GMS who rule well, and salutations unto you brothers and you few sisters that take heed. Lord's will, this is edifying. Until next time, Shalom.